So,
hello guys, this is No Fine Print. This is our second episode. Hopefully that you guys enjoy it. Let's get started. Today's topic, we'll talk about aliens.
less so necessarily about aliens and more so about people involved in the conspiracies around aliens. So, I'm going to go into sequence. Richard Byrd is the first person we're going to talk about.
Interesting man.
Yes. Was, believe he was an admiral in the Navy, but also a Navy pilot, and supposedly flew to Antarctica and found like a Nazi base hidden in Antarctica, but also
I
found...
heard about that too, actually.
Also found like a hole to the center of the earth
Oh.
that supposedly was like harboring aliens and Nazis.
What do you think about that?
Dude, as far-fetched as it sounds. I mean,
Might be true, might not be true, who knows?
yeah, absolutely. But, alright, picking up there. What do you...
I think it's very interesting, man. I mean, I think you know more about it than I do. I just know that, like you said, he was a Navy admiral. I do know that he also did a bunch of, I don't call them missions, but like, I call them tours. I don't know what you relate them as, but things in Antarctica and discoveries and humanity is very interesting.
What makes it interesting is the fact that he does have a paper trail to the fact that he was an admiral in the Navy. So,
Well, content purpose, I didn't get that deep into it.
well, just giving him credibility on that front, like, why would somebody of that stature lie about something like that?
It's like the
You
guy
know what I'm
that,
saying?
I can't remember his name, but he was an Air Force pilot. Talks about seeing the Tic Tac UFO sighting.
I don't know the name, but I know you're
Yeah, it's kind of similar. It's in the same. Like he has credibility.
He has a little more so credibility because of modern advantage of being able to
Be seen in like
yeah,
two videos and stuff
record
like
the
that.
actual.
So what about this
but-
Richard Boyd? What has he done? What has he found?
Richard Byrd.
Byrd. I said Byrd. I'm so sorry.
All right, so
Byrd.
I guess like it was pretty much released after he passed away, like his niece or somebody had found his personal diaries, I think, or something like that. And then pretty much put out, like his personal accounts of what had happened.
So what have you seen and stuff like that?
Yeah, and like I think they sent him after he'd already found all this stuff and he'd reported back. They sent him and like 4,000. I might be wrong on the number, but I'm pretty sure it was like 4,000 other soldiers to Antarctica, and they called it like a training exercise to do it. But really, they were supposedly going there to take down a Nazi fucking
Regime.
yeah, secret Nazi base in Antarctica.
I did know this one fun fact about Antarctica is that it's not uncontrolled by any country. Like all the countries around the world have like agreed upon not inhabiting Antarctica. For some weird reason, I don't know why, but so nobody's there.
Maybe because it's uninhabitable.
Yeah, and it's
I mean, people shouldn't live there. Yeah, like I wouldn't live there.
Underground Nazi base.
Yeah, is it
Maybe that's why
actually?
it's an underground.
Or
Nazi
is there a secret fucking hole to the center of the world?
I've seen little conspiracies saying there's pyramids there too.
Yeah, I mean,
Actually, like ice
well,
pyramids.
so like you can
Ice
look,
Queen.
you can look on Google, and there's all kinds of like people putting their 2 cents in, but like you can find where people go on Google Earth and find like where it looks like a big ass bay door or something like
Yeah. There's some weird shit on Google Earth.
hidden in glaciers where you can like go into.
I wish I had fucking pull this up on the computer because there's some weird shit. I have like little videos I've saved that of like weird shit on Google Earth. Like you can, like there's one you can. I never saw it. Probably like in high school. But like the one person like dragging a dead body. Have you seen that on Google Earth?
Yeah, I think I did actually see that.
There's another one that you can see like big like lands like ancient like landscape things that they've made out of I don't know how they did it. They just make this build up mountains and create these weird ass patterns that are massive.
There's one in Ohio, I'm pretty sure, actually.
I don't know.
It's like Serpent's Mountain or something. It's a big.
That sounds interesting for sure.
Pretty sure it's Ohio. I could be wrong about that, but.
All right, what about the next guy?
Alright. Well, hold on.
We're not done yet.
We're talking about potentially the center of the world being like a fucking
hollow Earth theory.
Yeah,
you're talking about the hollow Earth.
Exactly.
Hollow Earth conspiracy. That's what you're talking about.
But you're
I'm a big conspiracy person. I enjoy looking at him.
So this guy
I don't believe, but
flies into the center of the Earth, talks to aliens, flies back, gets the government involved, flies back out, and then what happens from there, I'm not exactly sure, but...
So who said these things?
This is in his personal diaries. Right?
Oh, okay.
So...
It's weird.
Yeah, a little bit. But then, going into the conspiracy factor, like, is there treaties with aliens going on from back in World War II or even before that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know. I know we dropped the atomic bomb, though, that if any life forms out there was like, oh, these motherfuckers got some power going on. There's big things working.
Exactly.
And they're like, oh, we got to go there and talk to them a little bit and say, hey, don't blow yourselves up with all this craziness.
Supposedly aliens have came and deactivated nukes for like years. A lot of people or soldiers on bases that are, having missile silos and stuff have reported UFOs coming and essentially just shooting some sort of beams at the fucking missiles and deactivating them permanently. So, I mean...
It's Roswell shit.
Do we even have nukes, you know what I'm saying? Or is all that shit?
Nah, dude, we got nukes. That's people in Japan.
No shit, yeah.
That's people in Japan.
do we have the amount, though? You know what I'm saying? Like,
do you think those people in Hiroshima and Nagasaki are like, listen, nukes are myths?
I'm not saying we don't have the capability of
Sasquatch doesn't
nukes.
exist.
I'm just saying, if we had a surplus, is it possible that it is fucking useless? You know what I'm saying? Like,
sure, I feel that one, but what's more probable is that during the Cold War, the USSR.
When you say more probable, think about what you said earlier, that there's a video that is sanctioned by the government.
It's very true.
That there's UFOs, and how fucking...
Yeah, I redact my statement now.
There you go, you know what I'm saying? Like, how can you be so fucking sure now?
I'm not so sure, actually.
So fair point. Leading back into the government's involvement, talking about Richard Doty now. Richard Doty, did you look into him?
The second man, he was a controversial UFO person, was he?
Yeah. Let's put it lightly, I guess. But so essentially, Richard Doty, pretty sure was also Air Force affiliated. I say also, the other guy was Navy, but he was just a pilot. Anyways, he was Air Force affiliated, I'm pretty sure. And his job was essentially to spread misinformation about the UFO subject.
Countercell.
Yes. So why would the government have somebody employed
purposely? That's terrible. I said related to something that I thought about like that. This is not on the same level because there's like UFOs and then there's
they do this with a lot
black
of stuff.
people. But I just watched this movie called Judas of the Black Messiah, which just came out today. It's a fucking great movie, phenomenal movie. But it talks about his name was like Fred, Brother Fred. I forgot his last name, like Hamilton or something, but I'm probably wrong. But it talks about that and talks about how the FBI got a call. I think Richard Nixon was the president at the time. Not Nixon. No.
Hamilton.
Kennedy Johnson.
No, it was like Hamilton. I think it was
Kennedy.
No, doesn't matter. I forgot about it. But they.
Were you gonna say Reagan?
No, it was him. But maybe I don't know. I forgot. I don't know what president was at the time. I was wrong. Sorry. but the guy, so the FBI was doing them, like his name's Brother Fred, and he was getting all the black people going, like getting them riled up, and you got the black people together, the rednecks together, disenfranchised rednecks. I shouldn't say that. Disenfranchised white people. You got the Puerto Ricans together, and you made a whole they call it the Rainbow Coalition. And then he was able to do it, and the government viewed him as a threat. And then there was a phone call. It's not like true facts, but there was a guy that was a rat, and he was like the head of security and for the Black Panther Party at the time. And then he was getting, but he just had a lot of followers, and the government didn't like it. It's that's a big threat, especially during when the white cops were beating down the black people for no reason. Or just anything they did. They would shake them up, shake them down, go to the businesses, fuck with them. That's what they did.
Yeah.
And so that's why the Black Panther Party was created, yada yada. But then that FBI had him killed. He said because it was a phone call on the movie. Now I don't know if it's a real actual recording, but they talked about how prisons is nothing. People get rich and people get famous in prison. Prison is not the option.
Yeah, kill his ass.
Yeah, kill him because he was too powerful. His presence. He was able to talk to the people and get them riled up. Get
move the masses.
Cops. Yeah.
All right.
So I see that what she's saying with what you're saying with the
Richard Doty.
That he was able to people that did believe in seeing the aliens, right now back again, seeing the aliens, they were able to manipulate and say oh. These are not the real ones. We'll put this holster right here. These are the ones. He
used it to their advantage because they were. So supposedly they were in Dulce, New Mexico, detonating nukes underground, and they were doing it for. I think they were saying it was for seismic readings or something like that. But
some dumb shit.
Yeah, the real purpose behind it was that they were building underground bases and shit and hiding their dirt that way, you know what I mean? But
so don't go to these areas because they're radioactive.
Okay, so they start nuking these holes in the ground, and then all these nuclear fucking radioactive gases start coming out of the ground for a while because they just detonated a nuke under the ground. So they start abducting cows and doing experiments on the cows to see how the radiation's affecting the cows around them, which they're doing to see how it's affecting the people around it, you know what I'm saying? But
they're both mammals.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? There'd be similar effects probably. So anyways, they start doing this, and then people start noticing weird shit going on and seeing lights from a distance every time these cows are getting stolen basically and fucking experimented on. And then that turns into aliens are abducting cows, which is why you see that stereotypical little
cow,
alien.
UFO.
Exactly why you see that. Perfect example of misinformation right there. So they start putting crazy ass lights on the helicopters to make them look like UFOs from a distance because people are calling them UFOs. So they're fucking perfect. We're just gonna use this to our advantage and make people think that there's aliens stealing their cows. And then there was people that were really getting invested into it, and I think his name was Paul Benowitz. And this guy's a millionaire at the time, right? Forget why he was a millionaire, but he's an intelligent guy beyond just having money too, you know what I'm saying? So he starts going into his own investigations of it, and he starts flying over this fucking base with his plane and taking his own pictures of it and shit, right? And he's getting some crazy ass fucking pictures. He don't even know what he's fucking looking at type shit. So, pretty sure he goes to the Pentagon and he's reporting all of his findings and stuff. And they end up sending Richard Doty to him. And Richard Doty's oh, hell yeah, dude. You found aliens and your service to America is great for this. And
see him stop.
Dude, yeah, just fucking pandering to him and making him blow his own imagination out of proportion on it, you know what I'm saying? And then it ends up getting to a point where he's like obsessing over it, right? And somehow the NSA gets involved in this because he's like really taking photos of fucking Homeland Security shit that he shouldn't be, but they can't tell him what they're doing. So like they're spying on him while they're misdirecting him, and like supposedly the NSA was like beaming signals into his house to make him like pick up these fake radio signals that were like the government talking about shooting at aliens and crazy shit, you know what I'm saying? Like literally dude, literally spun this guy. They spun this poor guy, dude, and like he ended up. I think he killed himself.
Probably, I killed myself too.
I'm pretty sure. I know he died, but I think
I'm
he
like,
killed himself.
what in the fuck is
but
going
Richard
on?
Doty's just like casually like, yeah, I mean, I fucking
This happens.
kind of did that to him. You know what I'm saying? And like, that's just one of multiple things that guy did. And what's even beyond that is
he was like the king of manipulating other people to believe the aliens.
dude, yeah, misinformation, fucking
Lord.
agent, like above all. But
It's like I believe that. I can believe that. You know why? Because have you seen what was it? What the fuck? Project. Shit. I'm shitty about. Yeah, but it was about Charles Manson, MK Ultra, Project MK Ultra. We're talking about like there's like
where he worked
he worked for the CIA. He worked for the CIA and he gave a bunch of LSD. But look, there's a investigative journalist that came out and talked about that's what he spent his whole life is studying this, and figuring out what's going on with this. And he came like has the same thing. Is like they gave him drugs. Why he was jailed a bunch of times before he committed those murders. Why did he get out every time? Why did he get? Because the CIA was a informant. Yes, so they were with them. That's craziness, bro. So I can believe that 100%. That's all. Our government does some shady stuff.
Let me try to pick back up where I was.
Guy misinformation, doing
Okay, so this guy now is like flipping, kind of. I don't want to say flipping because he's like still careful about what he says, kind of, but he's like super open about things that he knows are not like super incriminating, I guess, against specific people or groups of people, I guess. But anyways, he essentially got blamed for everything the government made him do. So he was kind of like, fuck you guys, I'm going to exonerate myself, I guess, but without totally exonerating himself.
For sure.
But anyways, he will openly say like there's aliens and that the government has been involved with multiple alien races for
don't you guys think
years.
it's interesting during the Black Lives Matter protests, and I don't know if I'm the only one that noticed this, I thought it was hilarious, is that during the whole, when the media is getting just saturated with Black Lives Matter propaganda, Black Lives Matter, things going on all over the world, all these riots, protests, whatever you want to call them, and then one news article goes, UFOs exist, they have found it. And just ran. This is one, and that's the only time it happened. It happened in one day, and it wasn't blasted over the media for 2 days, 3 days. It was one day.
That's misinformation.
And just put it in there for no reason. Just put it in there and said, "Hey, this was what's going on."
Same thing they did with whenever. Same thing they did with whenever coronavirus fucking shot off and everybody freaked out in the beginning.
We don't say coronavirus is fake for this.
I'm not gonna say it's fake. I'm saying as soon as coronavirus took off and was making headlines, they also had that hearing at the Pentagon where they decided to fucking, declassify what they have every 180 days or something based on the unidentified aerial phenomenon branch that they have. And nobody talks about that. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Exactly, because everybody was like,
I
oh shit.
that one.
Everybody's like, oh shit, I gotta buy toilet paper. No, never mind.
But I don't know why people chose to consume large amounts of toilet paper, because it makes no sense.
You to.
It makes no sense. What you gonna do? Well, you wipe your ass with towels. You wash your ass off in the river. if you have to. Like,
Yeah,
there's
no
ways
shit,
to
dude.
clean your ass.
Go take a
without toilet
shower.
paper.
No
Like,
shit.
why are you buying hundreds of thousands of dollars of toilet paper for no reason and hoarding it?
Well, because they were like, I'm gonna flip this toilet paper real
Bro,
quick.
it makes no sense.
Bro.
Why in the fuck? For one, I was happy because everybody was like, I have toilet paper. There's no toilet paper. I was like, well, thankfully I use baby wipes. There's a bunch of fucking baby wipes everywhere.
Nah,
There's baby wipes everywhere.
My buddy works for, he works in the sanitation department, to put it eloquently, but
He hates baby wipes, probably.
yeah. He was like, dog, I can get you one of those big ass rolls, like from the gas station if you need me
Nigga,
to.
I don't
And I
need
was
no
like,
toilet paper, bro.
I'm gonna keep that in mind, because if I need to, I'm gonna hit you
I'll
up.
get it, I guess.
I'm gonna get that.
People act like it was a life source.
You
Like,
gotta-
you have to have toilet paper. I
Yeah.
cannot go days without wiping my ass.
Dude,
It's funny. It's
that's
funny.
why you get a Sam's membership too, because you just
You
get
can get
40 rolls of toilet
Costco's,
paper
I'm with
for $20.
Costco's. Costco's where it's at too. I
Alright.
understand one time.
Back to
Let's rewind.
subject.
Get back on subject. We got
Alright.
off. We had a little dialogue.
So, another guy that is got a paper trail, and you can look him up and see that he's not just some Joe Blow talking about shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, there is some sort of support in everything he's got going on. This other person, Phillip Schneider, crazy ass story.
Yeah, it was hard. I thought I found the guy, but I know it was the right guy, so I didn't look into him. So
Okay, so Phillip Schneider was actually like a contractor.
is he young?
No,
Youngish?
he wasn't old.
Okay.
Like, he wasn't like a young
So it's
guy.
like a young dude with like black, like slick back hair.
This dude was probably, I'd say, he was in his early 50s maybe when he died. But anyways, he was a contractor for the government for this big, massive drilling company. And he was allegedly drilling huge ass holes in the ground and making underground bases for the government to hide alien spaceships or whatever the fuck they do underground. But
Elon Musk said it's not hard to get the contract to drill holes in the ground.
well, this guy, so like he would go on tour and he had like little materials and stuff that he would show everybody that were like, this is whatever the fuck this element is, and it's not made on Earth. It's lighter than aluminum, but it's harder than diamonds, and like showing people around the room. And then he tells a story about how, I think he was in Dulce, New Mexico, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, go figure. But anyways, he was drilling, and I think it like started to release some sort of nasty ass smell or something. He said it smelled like burning trash, or I'm pretty sure. But the drill stopped, and they had to like go and check what the fuck was going on. So him and I think he said it was like a Green Beret or a Black Beret or some special forces motherfucker went down underground to see what it was, and pretty much found an alien base that was already there that they had like drilled into trying to build their own base, and then ended up getting shot with some sort of fucking, he said it was like getting shot with a lightning bolt or something like that, and like he had to evacuate out of there as fast as he could. And anyways, he like, after he explains the story, he like lifts up his shirt, you just see like burns and stuff, and his hands like melted. Basically, he's got 2 missing fingers that are all like
Yeah, I wish we could pull that up.
nasty.
Do this, there is some saving grace. However, we don't have a whole heap of time left.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. But so this guy, he's going around and he's telling all these stories, and he's got like maps like showing like areas that he's drilled in and created these bases at, and basically talking about how there's been multiple attempts on his life because he's been doing that. And he pretty much got murdered in his hotel room one day.
By
Fucking CIA probably, or NSA. but he was strangled by his own catheter.
That's what I wanted.
Yeah,
That's some
so
fucked up shit.
that's obviously not a suicide, which is what they ruled it as.
It's like Jeffrey Epstein. The nigga said he had 7 jumpsuits in his room for some reason. The cameras were all turned off in the hallways, and he hung himself.
Yeah,
And if you look at his cellmate, there's some freaking like new NYPD officer who'd already killed a bunch of people. That's why he's in prison anyways. Or killed a bunch of people. Dudes like Jack Diesel.
Weren't the guards off duty or something?
They
like
said you weren't
for
there
that
or
amount
something.
of
They
time?
went
Yeah.
on break or some shit like that.
Some made up ass excuse.
The cameras off. They went on break. He died. Bullshit. You can't tell me like Alex Jones, this motherfucker. You can't tell me nothing.
Digging deeper into the Phillip Schneider thing, like I had watched a documentary on it not that long ago, and they had interviewed his ex-wife, and she was talking about how like he fucking like was on all this medicine and stuff after he quit working for them, and like they were basically like drugging him into like amnesia of his life. And yeah, dude, like
So what happened to Michael Jackson?
he ended up getting off of the medicine, and like I think his dad was also involved in some sort of like secret government crazy shit. So like his dad died, and he was like going through his dad's stuff, and he found like his fucking secret government files that nobody's supposed to see. But him seeing that like started triggering what he had done because of all that shit, and was like starting to remember it. So I'm pretty sure he like got off his medicine at that point, and that's when he started
That's crazy. Sometimes when you see this stuff, it makes you want to think like,
how
what all do they do we don't have no idea about. It's interesting like when Chile, this is really kind of it's about government conspiracy type things. Chile, literally, the United States was able to endorse Pinochet, which was like the figure like a dictator in Chile. There's really not someone there, and he was there for he was in Chile, and then the United States government, they funded the dictator, and that dude his name Pinochet, he used to kidnap people all the time. Like these people just go disappearing. Actually, a messed up thing is like when I was down there was like these massive protests, like you see the Caballeros, there's all suited and booted, the little riot gear. And to me, I was like, what the fuck is going on? Because me and Holder just walking with our luggage, and I was like, what is going on? And then you see all these like armored vehicles, like tanked up. It's like Mad
you
Max.
said vehicle.
Well, vehicle like buses and cars.
Vehicle.
What do we call it?
A vehicle.
A vehicle.
MRAP.
You fucker. But it was like a fire truck, but that was like Mad Max. I'd say like little cages on the windows and like.
Didn't
have an MRAP. No, they didn't. They had literally vans, they literally like rigged with plated metal, and then they put it on there, and then they had like tear gas hoses on the top of the fire trucks that shot out tear gas. And like sometimes you'd walk around there, and we would walk for like an hour and a half to get to because it shut down all the subway systems. So we'd walk a long time until we got to the subway system. Having that took the subway to the bus, like really far out in the city. And then I watched on the news that shit just erupted. And shit, like people protesters were like fighting the police. I'm like, I'm so happy we got out of there.
Yeah, dude.
That was some intense.
You could have died.
That was some
You
intense-
got shot in the
That was some
crossfire.
intense stuff. But you'll walk around there sometimes. Like there'll be a protest that happened earlier in the day. Then you walk out, and then like you're like, why is my nose burned? It's because they shot tear gas off. There was like lingering around the air. I never knew what that was. I was like, God, this is awful. Like, why is my nose and my eyes burned? It was awful.
Sounds like fun.
On topic though, Chile has a very big observatory that sees a lot of UFO sightings on there too. We didn't know that.
A lot of other countries have actually declassified all of their alien stuff, and they're just like, yeah, I don't know why everybody's so weird about this, basically.
Yeah, Chile just it's like it's positioned good enough on the Earth that we're like, especially like the southern point, it's really close to Antarctica. So like they put like these massive like telescopes, Hubble, down there so you can see stuff. Which before I went there, I didn't know that Eastern Island was they owned the Eastern Island. I didn't know that. But I seen one of those little head statues on East Island. They have one in Vietnam. like a real one. And
Really?
and I saw it out of like volcanic rock. That's why I was like. So my question first was like, is this so old? Why is it not eroding?
Have you seen that there's like a lot of them have like bodies buried underneath them?
Yeah.
Not like dead bodies, but like
No, I have
like
one.
A full...
No, I have one. I got one like a little carving one of them, and they also have hats too. Like the hats broke off. So it's not just the heads. It's got a hat, the head, and the bodies are buried in the ground. It's very interesting. It's very...
I was thinking Squidward's house.
Yeah, that's just funny. Yeah, it is.
Yep.
Well, thank you for listening to No Fine Print. You guys enjoy the rest of your evening.